I've been exposed to the phenomenal game series that is The Legend of Zelda since I was a wee lassie of only 3 years old. I mainly watched my older brothers and sometimes my mother. Now as for actually playing, well, it kind of took a while before I was finally playing on my own, and let's just say there are a few good reasons why I didn't for so long and why I probably still shouldn't play Zelda games. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice and happy Zelda month. And Hunger Games month. I can never get the last note. If you're familiar with my channel, then you know that I tend to avoid top 5s and top 10s, though I do have them. So if I'm doing one of these, there's only 3 possible reasons as to why. Number 1 is that I'm out of ideas, which is very unlikely seeing as I would rather just not upload a video than force one. Number 2, this is genuinely a top 5 or top 10 that I really wanted to do. Number 3, I'm working on some bigger projects and scripts and therefore needed something a little bit easier to write in the meantime. Thankfully, it's actually a mix of the latter two. Indeed, I've had this topic written out for a while and now was the perfect time to use it. I'm currently in the middle of 3 different projects with some awesome people, all set to go out this month. So be on the lookout for those. Now's the part where I'm probably supposed to tell you, hey, turn your notifications on, but anyway. So what do I mean by reasons I shouldn't be playing Zelda? Oh, you'll see. Number 1, I get too emotionally invested. Between the music, the cutscenes, the writing, and even sometimes the voice acting, I'm just one of those players whose heart gets sucked into the lore so easily. For better or for worse, I get attached. This will play into the other reasons as well, but because I get so invested, I sometimes have trouble focusing on the actual gameplay. Number 2, frankly, I stink at video games. Okay, maybe I'm not as bad as I think, but I'm pretty bad. For example, I love puzzles, and puzzles make up a good majority of Zelda gaming, correct? And yet I find that when I'm streaming, I am absolutely hopeless without the help of the chat. I guess one could argue that the reason I don't focus as well during a stream is because I'm trying to focus on the chat as well, but it's still pretty pathetic. Like, it's not even just hints. Sometimes I need flat out answers from the chat, and you guys are awesome for doing that. But wow, that's kind of sad, isn't it? Not to mention, when it comes to combat, it would seem I hate strategy. I'm a button masher all the way. It's actually kind of funny because I get super tense when I'm fighting. Which, speaking of getting tense, my third reason I probably shouldn't be playing Zelda games is I have a tendency to rage quit or just flat out avoid areas. If I'm not on stream, the tendency for this skyrockets. If you've seen one of the streams where I play Super Mario Maker 2, then you know how easily I give up. If you watched me channel the final boss in Link's Awakening for the Switch, you've seen the rage. Well, my version of rage, which is just me heavily insulting a boss because I don't like the mechanics because I can't defeat it by simply button mashing. And yes, I'll avoid certain areas I don't like heavily. It took me about 3 streams of playing Breath of the Wild to actually get around to following through on my intent to defeat Vonneboris and Thunderblight Ganon. Speaking of, I think I've spent now 2 streams at the time of recording this video avoiding redefeating the Blights for the Champions Ballad. Don't even get me started on the Master Trials. I mean, that's the whole point, I haven't started. I feel like this is starting to become a big advertisement for my streams. Oh well. Now on to number 4. You know what happens when you avoid areas and bosses because you're lost, stink at playing, and don't like bosses? You don't finish the game. Yes, I have a very bad habit of just never finishing games. Streaming has helped me to start following through though, and it's a ton of fun. But until recently, I had never actually finished a game. I'd always get close, but either because I didn't want the story to end, or I just didn't want to challenge the final boss, I just stopped and never finished. And finally, number 5, the reason that I shouldn't play Zelda games that ties in all of the other reasons, I am a wimp. So, I'm emotional, like I said, which is not a weakness, but anyway, I stink at games and probably continue to stink at them because I rage quit and avoid areas, thus never completing the games. It's a vicious cycle. I don't get better because I rage quit, but I rage quit because I stink. In my defense, encountering games like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask when you're 3 and 5 years old, respectively, can leave some deep impressions on you. Click the card to hear about some of those. And there you have it, 5 reasons why I really shouldn't be playing The Legend of Zelda. Though, let's be real, I think it kind of makes for a fun and interesting stream, and frankly, I'm never gonna stop because I love these games despite my flaws when playing them. That makes sense. If you share any of these issues, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like I said, I have 3 collab projects in the works right now coming out later this month, and I'm so excited. So stay tuned for those. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.